Hi, good morning, Omar. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good, thanks. So yesterday we were doing talking about deployment group,
Yeah.
and in deployment group, like in past, what we have done, we can deploy our code to web apps, and
Exactly.
and we can also do parallelly while deploying to the web apps. Also, we can deploy it to on-premises virtual machines
Yes.
or on in the cloud or anywhere by using a deployment group. So to do that, first we for this demo, what we did, we created two virtual machines, any virtual machines like Windows Virtual Machine 2019 server, and then we installed IIS Internet Information Service and .NET 6. .NET 6 we installed because we have got a .NET project
Mm.
as a test. And in Azure DevOps, so ADO stands for Azure DevOps, we'll create a deployment group and call it Az-400 deployment group. Then we'll register these VMs. Then we'll register these VMs to from to co- that we need, and to do this we need to copy the script from the Azure and deployment group. Okay, so if we, like, I show you that I've already, if I go to virtual machines, uh, so I've got these two virtual machines. They are running at the moment, and I'm using a Mac, so I remote desktop into these machines. So what we'll do, first step we do is to create a deployment group. So if you go to our virtual machine here, and if you go to this is our jump box, the one we use normally. To make sure, go to command prompt, just type host name. Yes, this is the one we normally use for all our demos. But to deploy that code of that project or release pipeline, we'll use other two machines. So in this one, we just log on to our portal and DevOps and create a deployment group and just move forward from there. Yeah. So I'm just launching this. Okay, if I go to my portal, azure.com, and if I go to also DevOps, to our project from where we're creating our deployment group.
All right.
So if I go to this project,
Mm-hmm.
and we are using web app. So repo, if we go to repo, and this is a web app, yeah. So now we're gonna create a deployment group. So if you go to pipelines and on this, so you can see deployment groups here, right? Hello, are you there? Right. So we will create a deployment group.
All right.
Add a deployment group. We call it AZ400 deployment group. Click create. Right. So now we need to register our virtual machines with this Azure DevOps. So to do this, we will use the script and log on to these machines, virtual machines, each machine, and use PowerShell and run the script. Yeah.
All right.
So
Yep.
and we also have to take this, use a personal access token in the script. So we click that, copy script to our clipboard. It is copied. So if I go back again to my first machine, so if you go to PowerShell. PowerShell. And just click copy. That's it. Enter. Just wait for a few seconds. So now see, after a few seconds, it is registering our agent, scanning for tool capabilities, so checking all the tools required to deploy this deployment group. Enter deployment group tags for guest. So press enter for no. So we'll keep as a default, press enter.
Yep.
So if you just click here, enter. So we press enter for no. So successfully added the agent, testing agent connection. Press enter for no. I will just keep it as default.
All right.
Enter user account to use for a service. Press enter for yes. Enter. Now it is doing all the permissions and stuff. Successfully installed. Enter whether to prevent service starting immediately after configuration is finished. No, for just enter. All done, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So similarly, we will go to our second machine now. Where is it? Here. The target VM1. Sorry, not this one. Oops, it is this one. And similarly, we register this agent with this machine. So if you go to PowerShell and just expand this a little bit, we still have copied the script. So we just right click again. So it didn't work. Let's copy this again. Let's copy this clipboard again. Just copy again and go to our second machine. And yep, that's better.
Yep.
Enter. Takes a few seconds. And it'll take again couple of a minute or something, just getting the tools, all the required tools is needed. It's just waiting here. So like I said, it's coming back, scanning for tool capabilities. So we just press enter. Enter again, enter again, enter again. That's, here we go. So that's registered. Okay, now let me go to steps notes, which will help the audience. Notion, no, sorry, Notion. Okay. So if you go to, and this is the one lab deployment group implementation.
Yes.
So where we are just now, we have registered our VMs with the script provided. Now we can see that actually, if you go to our deployment group, if you go to target machines, we can see. So we can see. We can see.
All right.
So we can see our target machines. See,
Yes.
they already registered. Yeah. So now what we'll do, we go to our, so that means our virtual machines are registered here. And now we can go to our old release.
Yes.
And we go to this, the last release. And edit pipelines.
Yes.
And we
Ahead.
add a stage.
Yes.
New
New
stage.
stage.
And we call it
Empty job.
empty job. Yeah. Okay. And we call it deployment group stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Deployment group stage, or we just call it deployment group, and
Okay.
save it.
All right.
Right. And if we go to task,
We remove the agent job.
that's right. Very good. So we removed it because this agent is we need a deployment agent instead of that.
Yes.
So
It's on the right side now. Right corner. Remove.
okay, job. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Perfect. So now,
Job.
so we add a new deployment group. So we just go to these three dots and
Yeah.
say add a deployment group job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one we just do our, call it deployment group job. Just leave it like this.
Okay.
And deployment group we created this one.
Okay.
And we don't need tags. Just leave it like this, and we got the existing build artifacts there already.
All right.
And anything else, so we just save it.
Okay.
Okay, so we have deployed that. Now we add some tasks.
Okay.
For to deploy these our code on these machines. For that one we need IIS deploy. So what do we need? We can see that. So we created a deployment group job and delete the existing agent. Yeah.
Yes.
Add the task and search for IIS. IIS. So we do manage first.
Yes.
And
then deploy.
after that. So we go to settings here, display, we can call it default website.
Okay.
Right, so just leave everything as default. Create an IS website, action, create or update. As website name, we call it same as
Default website.
Default website. Physical path is this www root, and that's it. And we do we need to save it? No.
Yeah. You also have to do it on deploy ISS.
Yes, I'm saying. So website name, we call it default website. That's it. Nothing else we need to do here.
Okay. Everything as it is.
Give me 1 second. Got a phone call. Okay, now do we need to do anything? Just leave it all as default.
Yes.
And save it.
Yes.
And save it, and we create, what's the next step? Manually create the relays.
Yeah.
Release, allow manual information tasks will come and happen. We go and log and see all that. We can follow these steps here.
Okay.
So create release. So we can see that actually before we did, we forgot to turn on our web
manual.
no. Turn our web apps Wolves app. So we start. It will stop. Remember. So
Okay,
it
yeah.
didn't do it. So we start it. So we start this. Same way we go to our staging web app and start that. Otherwise it would fail because the app's not running. So start this. So now what will happen? It will deploy to testing environment, which is PaaS in the Azure portal. This is also web staging and also deployment group to our virtual machines.
Machines.
Yeah. So click create, and if you go to release, and let's see, is gonna. You can see that is a manual intervention. Remember we had this to make sure. We click it
Yes.
resume
Okay.
and resume and just notification. So it started deploying that now.
Okay.
You can see parallelly if you go to logs here, it's doing it.
In progress. Yeah.
So it is deploying it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, after a few minutes, as you can see, perfect, all succeeded. So to test it, what we can do first, we check our web apps. So if we go to our testing environment, which is Wolves apps,
Yes.
and we copy the URL. Copy the URL, or you can click that. Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we go to our staging app, staging
Okay.
it, we can see this. This should be also be working fine. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. So now to test it on our virtual machines, what do we do? So after commission target regions and web apps and copy the pip means public IP address
Yeah. And see
and
the
see and see in the virtual machine we can see the locally that website is working. So if you go to our this machine, sorry, the first target VM,
Okay.
where is it? First target VM, and if you go to Intel Explorer, or
Right.
we can check if you go to what do you call it, stay in the same machine, and we go to our virtual machines, target VM, copy this. We don't have to go into the machine to check it. This
Okay.
if you go to public IP and copy here, hi, coming back to our release pipeline for deployment group, we noticed that we had some issue. So basically, we need to add a task, manage IIS website and deploy IIS website. And what we have done, we used a different task, but it was wrong. So I deleted that and added this task again. So just click save. So just click save. Save. Okay. And now I'm gonna rerun the release pipeline. So I've got all the tasks, here's everything, just create release. So what this will do, this will deploy onto our 2 web apps. Before I do that, let me make sure, is it on, because I stopped it earlier. So I go to Windows app, and if it just comes, start this one, go back home, start the staging web app. So web app staging stage, start this, fine. Now going back to our release, create release. Real started, so there's a manual intervention. Just click resume and say notify, resume. So it's gonna kick in now. Yep, it's resumed. So it's gonna kick in, resume. Yep, that's fine. If we go back to release 26, it's testing, is deploying now. So it succeeded in here. It's going to web staging. Then after that, parallelly into our 2 virtual machines. And also apart from this task, when the release pipeline completed, I'm finding that issue that it is giving an error. So if I show you, so this is the error we're getting, failed to load ASP.NET Core runtime. So to troubleshoot this, we need to download the latest version, which is 8. So on top of 6, which we installed in the earlier video, I'm installing 8 on top of it. So I've downloaded this already. So if we go to this one, agree, all that, install. Okay, and this has been installed, close. So if I go back to my pipeline again, as we can see, that's all completed. If you go to logs, it's been succeeded in pass. Now to test this, what we'll do, we go to our web app first to see it's working. It's been deployed. So we go to target VM, and we can see no, sorry, not target VM. If you go to our web app, Walls app, this is our first testing web app. If I go to this URL and just paste this, I think I've got some kind of and now you can see that our staging web app is working. Similarly, if I go to my staging web app, and this should also work. So in this deployment group, we parallelly deployed onto our web app and virtual machines. So if I click this, see, this is good, all working fine. Now to test our virtual machines, if we go to our first target VM, copy that URL, sorry, public IP address, and if we go to paste, continue to site, that's it, it's all working now. You can see that on this is the our target VM virtual machine. Similarly, if we go to our target VM2 and copy this public IP address, and just search it again, paste, continue. There we go. So that looks all good. So going back to our deployment group. So we successfully deployed this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to, because I need to delete this virtual machines and this deployment group to save the cost, because it is not required anymore. If I go to release here again and edit, and delete. So we have took off this staging group, save and save it. So now I want to delete my resource group also. Delete resource group, copy that and apply, paste, delete, confirm delete. So it's going to delete all that now, deleting this resource group. Also, I put my apps, stop them because not required in memory to save some money. It's a good, because I'm using my own pay-as-you-go portal, so I need to do these things. So same thing, we do our web staging and stop it and stop that. So hopefully you guys learned from this video how to implement and set up deployment group in Azure DevOps pipeline. Thank you very much. Thank you, Umar. So what will you just wait for our next video, and hopefully we'll be uploading very soon. Thank you very much. Goodbye.